Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta over here. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in again for another one of our chats. Silicon Valley girls that chat over tea. And before we get going,
Yes,
we want to remind you again, hit that like icon, the thumbs up, subscribe below. And if you don't want to miss any of our videos, hit that bell notification so you'll be the first to be notified when we have our videos.
yes.
Okay, all right. Tea time. What tea am I drinking today? I am drinking O Organics, and this one
Ooh.
is called Chamomile Lavender. Shocker, huh? Not drinking
Yeah.
something with licorice in it.
I'm like, well, you haven't read the ingredients yet, so the jury's still out on that part.
Well, the ingredients are chamomile flower, lavender flower, organic sweet orange peel, organic rosehip berries. All of this is organic. So there's no
Nice.
licorice this time. Again, it's
Woohoo.
called chamomile lavender. I don't know, some people say chamomile. I say chamomile lavender organic herbal tea. There you have it. And it's
Wonderful.
from O Organics, which is a Safeway brand.
All right.
Yep, I've had it seeping for a bit, so I can't wait to try it. Cheers. Cheers,
Cheers.
everyone. All right, I'm going to try this. And
Mm.
what are you drinking today, Gloria?
Well, I was feeling a little citrusy, so I decided to do
Tazo Wild
Tazo's Wild Sweet Orange.
Yum has orange in it.
Yes. So the ingredients, though, my favorite is lemon. So the first ingredients of this orange tea is lemongrass, blackberry leaves, citrus acid, rosehip, spearmint leaves, turmeric for color, um, orange peel, hibiscus flowers, uh, natural rose petals, natural orange essence, ginger root, in honor of my girl Rosetta,
Nice.
licorice root, and
Oh,
licorice extract.
wow,
It
you got
is,
double licorice
I
root
got
and licorice
double,
extract.
double. Yes. So once again, cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers to everyone out there. And I hope you're
Mm,
drinking some tea as well. Are you?
yes. It's a cool, brisk day in the Bay Area. So we hope you're staying warm and having some tea. So we always like to kick it off with Ellen. Ellen always reminds us to be kind to one another and to listen to one another. Especially now, we want to think about and bring about lots of love and compassion for us and the entire world. So you all know that, I'm the makeup girl, Rosetta's the skincare girl. And one of the things that we're going to do in our up and coming chats for 2021 is we're going to delve a little bit into those two arenas, makeup and skincare, specifically ingredients. What is in what you are using? Because I guarantee you, a lot of people are buying products based upon the person who says that it's good and not really taking the time to read. So Rosetta and I are going to help you out by taking all of that out of it. We're going to do the reading for you and we're going to share that. So today we thought we would kick it off with, back in the day when Rosetta and I were kids, it was all about being skinny. It wasn't about being healthy. So why don't you share down below with us what it was for you? Was it about healthy, healthy weight, or was it about being skinny? So Rosetta, why don't you start?
Well, this rings, it's very near and dear to my heart because I talk about this a lot because really that's what prompted me to do what I'm doing now as a certified health coach. I grew up in a society where everything was skinny, skinny, skinny. All we had was we didn't have social media back then. We had our version of social media, which was television, radio, and magazines. Magazines was big back then, as you know, Gloria. And all
Yep.
we saw was skinny minis. Those models, we would see them on TV and they would do anything to get skinny. That doesn't mean that it was healthy, but little did we know that was the information what they're giving us. Do
Right.
anything you can to get skinny. Take drugs, get anorexia, bulimia, skip meals, starve yourself. That's what I thought. So I grew up with a life of habitual dieting, the yo-yo diet, and I never was happy with my body. And nobody ever taught us about what it really is to be healthy on the inside. Doesn't matter what you looked on the outside, you got to be healthy on the inside. But all they
Right.
cared about in those days was just skinny. Remember, like Kate Moss, Twiggy, all those skinny um, models. That's what we were trying to
Yes.
emulate, and all the stars and celebrities being real skinny. So yeah, so I grew up
Yeah.
with all that. So I've been there and done all those fad diets, quick fixes, calorie counting, starvation, skipping meals, and that's not the way to live. So
Right.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
believe that that's something that needs to be changed now, and that's really a big thing for families. Because we always say, right, Gloria and I always say it comes from top down, right, in the family.
Yeah.
So, what better way than to teach our kids the right way to be healthy? And that's what I like to do, is to help families create that healthy lifestyle culture.
Right.
That girls can have a good body image, right?
Absolutely. Because, Rosetta and I believe that all inert girls are beautiful in their own way. They all bring unique qualities to the party. And this idea that everyone has to look a certain way, act a certain way to be considered beautiful is just ridiculous. In one of the upcoming conversations we're going to have is to talk about like girls who use a lot of enhancements. Because I'm the makeup girl, you would just die of shock if you knew the number of people that I've had conversations with where a young girl, 12, wants breast implants. And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, right, baby, you're too little. And she's like, oh, no, I have an appointment with a consultation on Tuesday. And I'm looking at the mother like, are you serious? She hasn't even grown into who she is. And
Wow.
you're allowing her to morphose into someone she is not. Like Rosetta, I also grew up with the yo-yo dieting. I mean, I was trying to lose 5 pounds, and trying to lose that 5 pounds turned into gaining 40 pounds because, you go on these strict diets and then you come off and you eat everything in sight, not necessarily what is healthy. So a lot of what Rosetta shares, and she does this in her social media a lot, is yeah, there are things you can do. However, the best thing is real food. If we had all been taught, like I feel really sad. When I went to school, we had home ed and we had shop. So the girls would go to home ed and we would
Yeah.
learn how to cook and how to sew. And the guys would go to shop to learn how to work on cars so they could fix the girls' cars. My understanding that both of those have been taken out of schools. So home economics was awesome because every now and then a guy would come to class and like we would be learning how to knit or to crochet, and they would be sitting there, knit one, purl two, just like the rest of us. And this, like Rosetta says, it starts from the top down. I love Luther Vandross. I think Luther Vandross could, he could sing the alphabets and I would be a happy girl. And I believe that some of what happened is that instead of someone sitting down and saying, Luther, you cannot yo-yo diet, you are a type 2 diabetic. Consistency, solid numbers is your goal. Not, I'm going to get skinny doing this diet fad, and then I'm going to gain the weight back when I get off of it. And then I don't like how I look, so I'm going to go back. And he kind of went back and forth. And I just wonder sometime if he had been given the healthy talk instead of the skinny talk, if that would have had a difference in his life.
Well, I think that, well, I don't know, but I'm assuming that the doctors probably told him, because it's very similar to my experience when I had my A1C numbers taken, and they said that I'm pre-diabetic. And I
Mm-hmm.
went to an endocrinologist, and all they could say was lower your carbs and sugars and exercise more. That's all they said. They didn't give me any explanation, no understanding of health. And then they
Right.
said, get better when we come back in 6 months' time and do another blood work, then let's start the medications.
Right.
So I don't blame the doctors because they're not really educated enough. They're not taught in medical school about prevention. They're just taught what they're taught, right? You have
Right.
a, that's it. So I think Luther Vandross was probably told, you got to get thinner. You got to lose that weight.
Right.
But basically, they didn't tell him how to lose the weight, what is a healthy way to do it, and how to make it long lasting and sustainable.
Right. And our girl Oprah Winfrey, we love her. I remember one day, I think I watched the show religiously. Even when I was working, I would always figure out how to get the IT guys, the information technology guys, to wire one of the televisions so we could watch Oprah every day. And she had been off camera for a while, and people kept saying that, Oprah is looking really skinny. And she comes out and she wanted a pair of Gloria Vanderbilt jeans.
Oh,
That was
that's
her
right.
goal. That was her
Yes.
goal. That was her mission, was to get in those jeans. So she said she had the jeans hung so she could see them every day. That was always prevalent in her vision. She lost the weight. She got in the jeans. She pulls out a wagon, a little toy wagon full of fat to represent the amount of weight that she had lost. Now we are looking at this and we're all going, well, hell, if Oprah can do it, we can do it. And later now, where she's talking more, she said that she thinks that the button on the jeans popped the same day. She started gaining weight. The minute she hit that goal to wear those jeans, the weight started coming back on. Well, as we know now, she's associated with WW, and she's all about, healthy. So she's not focused on the pounds. And if you notice, she has stopped yo-yoing. She looks pretty consistent all the time now. So that's what it's all about, is healthy living, not skinny living.
Exactly, exactly. There's two different things, and that was back in the days, the 80s, the early 90s. Now, hopefully, we can get a different perspective on what health should be.
Absolutely. And as Rosetta and I come across things that we find, because like she was saying with her and her A1C, I also have to take my A1C every 3 months. My doctor chases me. And I am one of the persons you hear about people all the time talking about, oh, I don't have no diabetes. And I really, in my heart, I don't believe that I do, because when I was diagnosed, they said that I was a type 1, type 2, which meant I was born a gestational diabetic, undetected, all the going to the doctors, undetected. And then all of a sudden, my life fell apart. My dad passed very suddenly, and it just took me off my feet. And my numbers were like 700. They said the meter flashed at 700, so it was pretty
Wow,
high.
wow.
And they told me, you're going to be on insulin for the rest of your life. Well, I had to do it to get out of the hospital. And then when I got home, I kept thinking to myself, this is not it. This cannot be the rest of my life, sticking myself with a needle every morning to start my day. So, by the grace of God and through holistic people like Rosetta, who have taught me that it's not a death sentence. And so they've gotten me to say the words, I am sugar sensitive. I am not a diabetic, because I'm supposed to be on insulin, and I don't take insulin, and I don't take pills. So healthy living and healthy choices, like Rosetta, I was told the same thing, no sugar, no white. So that means no rice, no potatoes, all the good stuff, no French fries. And I have had to learn through time and the evolution of this little life altering condition what I can and what I cannot eat. So we are going to continue to share healthy information with you all, because we think it's important.
Yeah, it's crucial. It really is. Health is number one, as I say.
Yes. I mean, you look at people, um, I can't think of his name now. I know that he was a friend to the previous president, and he was a billionaire, and he got COVID and died. So, everybody thinks, well, if you throw money at it, you can fix anything. Some things you can't. You need your help.
Very true.
So now we're going to get into some girlfriend chatter gossip. Okay. As you know, because we love you all, we are spending time watching The Bachelor. So I was watching The Bachelor, and I record it because that way I can just zoom through it, because I'm not really into it. I just want to, give you guys a tip. I wanted to wake Rosetta up and say, girlfriend, have you watched it? Can we talk? So Rosetta, what did you think?
What did I think? I think this was the best
Yes.
episode so far, as to date, my best episode. And for those of you that have not watched it, you might want to skip over this. But for those of
That's
you who don't care or don't mind, we're going to talk about it. I tell you, I have a different outlook on Matt James now. He is so genuinely concerned for the women and the environment that he's actually allowing them to live in, that he's doing what's best for them. He really has their best interest at heart. And I love the fact that he actually booted out two women that were actually causing a lot of trouble and high toxicity in within the women. So I was like, good for you, Matt, because as you know, if you're watching The Bachelor or even Bachelorette, you know that these things are happening. The people come to you and they tell you this is what's been happening in the house, and they refuse to listen. But with Matt James, because he genuinely did not know what was going on, I give him a pass for that. But now he does. He took action. And I'm loving him because I think he's coming from a side where he's thinking, now, if these women are doing this behind my back, do I really want them as my wife, my future
right.
wife, or my girlfriend? And
Right.
I love the fact that he's sticking up for other women and making sure that the house is not toxic. So that's what I really love. And my best part was Queen Victoria. She is gone, gone, gone,
There.
gone. Get
Out of
out
there.
the door. Hit the road, Jack. Out the door.
Yes. I
She,
mean,
God, I think she has some kind of, she really does not know the effect that she has on the whole house and the environment. She was like the main toxic person in the house.
yes.
She still does not believe that. I think she has some, she really definitely does have some kind of like unknowing issue with her in her brain, because for her to think that she was not the cause of it,
Right.
crazy, crazy, crazy. And she's going to watch this back. They usually do watch it back, and they usually have a different take on it because they're looking at it like the same as we're looking at it, like the
Right.
audience. So hopefully she realizes what she had done during the season. But I love it, love it, love it. And I love Matt James. So let's see what you say about this episode, Gloria.
Well, like you, I was I was very impressed when he walked Anna out the door. That was first. And she knew when he said about, what was going on, the toxicity of the place, and he goes, I don't know how anyone would think that that's the person I want to be my wife. So I was like, okay, all right, you're headed the right way. However, there's one more you got to get. So then, you know, she had that beautiful rust orange dress on. I mean, the slits were so high, she almost didn't have any clothes on. And I thought, Queen B, what's up? So he starts talk. She starts talking to the other girls, and she's like, well, everyone knows that that's just my sense of humor. I'm not mean. And I'm like, yes, you are. And then she's like, well, I'm kidding. And I'm like, no, you weren't kidding. Like she said to the young lady that was the previous queen of Puerto Rico. And she took her crown, and she was like, well, I was just playing with you. And it's like, no, you weren't. So that all goes, he starts talking to her. You realize it is done. And she knows it's done. However, she starts saying, well, the house can't live without me. The girls won't tolerate me being gone. And I thought, oh my God, there's something wrong here. there's something wrong because you are the mean girl. You were being mean. How can you not realize that the girls are going to take a deep breath and say, thank you, God, it's going to be quiet in the house. So that was an aha moment. And the other thing is, what is her name? The girl that he took on the shopping spree. I
Oh
can't think.
yes. I forget her name now, but she looks a
I
bit
have liked her since day one. I
she
think
looks a
she
bit
is so,
Persian or something.
I'm like, I know her name. I just can't believe I can't think of it. He took her on the date. He bought her her first pair of Louis Vuitton shoes because the one girl, she goes, are those red bottoms? And she puts her shoes up. And she kept saying to him, this is way out of my league. She's such a sweet, kind person. And then the other girl is Kat. Those are the two that I think are really, really sweet. The teacher, I think she's sweet, but she's freaking out. So I'm like, you can't freak out. You just got to stay in your zone and keep your feelings and do your thing and not worry about what else is going on. However, it looks like there's going to be more drama. I think her name is Katie, and she's the one that does the whispering. You know, this person said this and that person said that. And so at the end, they show all these girls, you know, having confrontations about where'd you hear that and all of that. So it's not over. However, Matt, I think you're doing a great job because you do not want a wife that's a mean girl. You do not want a wife that you cannot trust. So if you're going down this path, and like you told the young lady, you know, she said, I'm falling in love with you. And you told her, I'm falling in love with you too. Doesn't mean you can't fall in with 2 or 3 girls at the same time. So I'm excited to see how this turns out.
I'm excited. And one other thing, I'm waiting for MJ to be kicked out.
Yes.
Waiting for that because the last thing we saw was MJ and Jasenica. I think it was Jasenica. Both got told to meet him before the cocktail party. So he's
Yes.
going to try and resolve some things. And I really want MJ to be out because she was stirring a lot of pots.
Yeah. So Matt's on it. We'll update you again. My understanding, I didn't see it. Matt and Queen Victoria were supposed to be on Good Morning America. So Rosetta and I are going to do a little more research and then we'll
Really?
watch the next episode. And next week we'll have more to share.
I did not know that they were going to be on Good Morning America. I got to do some search on that.
Yes, we're gonna see how that went because she's like, if he thinks I'm gonna hug him, he's crazy. I don't like Matt. I don't like the name Matt. I will never date another Matt. And I thought, oh my God, sweetheart, you are
Woohoo,
melting,
crazy. She's a bit crazy.
melting.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about something that we know she is not crazy, and that is Wendy Williams. How you doing?
How you doing?
So Wendy had her new movie and her new documentary air on Saturday. You learn everything that you had always wanted to know about Wendy. She told her story her way. She told about when she first got into radio, how she had gone out with a performer and he just took her back to his place, had his way with her, basically raped her, and then told her she could see her way out the door. I'm like, oh my God. You get to see how she evolves from just a young girl trying to, you know, do a good job to the personality that she's become. Now, there was a snowstorm in New York City. So Monday and Tuesday, she couldn't get to the studio. So today and tomorrow, she's going to start doing the dirt. So next week, we will give you more insight. Like Wendy Williams, you know, her husband, Kevin, was, I mean, the things he did to her were just unthinkable. We got to see her going through the evolution of becoming a mom. She had to stay in bed rest, so that she could have her son, Kevin, and what she had to do with her career while she was going through that. I was fascinated. I've watched the movie twice.
Well, I missed it and I'm going to see if I can find it and I'm going to watch it because it sounds, I was thinking about that and I'm like, well, I don't have the channel, but I have the app on my TV. So how do I find that and how do I record? So I'm going to look for it and watch it.
Yes. And so we'll chat up Miss Wendy next week because this is just the tip of the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, the tip.
Just the tip. We want you to go, well, what else are they going to talk about? So this is the tip. Come back and check us out next week and you'll get to learn more about Miss Wendy.
Yay.
So we also wanted to talk a little bit about COVID-19. Thank God our numbers here in California are going down. We were in the double digit percentage, like we were like 14 point something percent of confirmed cases. And now we're down to 7. It's been cut in half. Everybody's being really good, really good. And we hope you're going to be really good this weekend because it's Super Bowl Sunday. Have your parties, do it outdoors. Have your party with just the people you live with. If you feel like you got to have some people, do a Zoom, do a Skype, put it on your laptop or your pad or your phone, and then you can have the togetherness without having the increase of the numbers. So come on, be good. Restaurants are back open. You can now go for outside dining. I know. Look at my girl. She's so happy. So that is really cool. A lot of people, they've been called, it started out the COVID-10. Then it went to the COVID-20. And I've even had people say, oh, I got the COVID-30. And I was like, what is that? That's how many pounds they have gained because they haven't been able to work out and do their norms. So one of the closest facilities to me, we have a company in Northern California called 24 Hour Fitness. Their Dublin 24 Hour Fitness is back open, outdoor only. They moved all the machines, all the weight racks that they could out. They built these big tents. So you could at least now, I mean, it's going to be limited, whereas there could be hundreds in at a time. It's only 25% of capacity and you have to still do the distancing, yet people can go back to working out. So I know lots of people are so excited they're going to be able to work out. Hair and nail salons are open. Once again, you can only have 25% of whatever the normal capacity is. However, if you have a person and she has her own salon, she can do 1 or 2 max at a time. However, they're back open. So that is really wonderful because a lot of businesses are hurting. And, you know, if there's anything you can do to help them, you know, please do. Vaccines. Vaccines are rolling out all over the world. And here in California, we've had some hit and misses. We've had situations where the vaccines are running out in some areas, and then other areas they have more. People are driving from county to county. Well, if I can't get one in my county, I'll just drive somewhere else. People are using their influence. Oh, darling, don't you know who I am? I am Queen Victoria. So therefore, I get a vaccine. So they're trying to make sure that kind of thing doesn't happen. Just be cool. Continue to wash your hands. Wear your mask. Social distance. The vaccines are here. Johnson & Johnson is getting even closer. So soon we will have 3 to 4 different vaccines. The governor also said in a press release that he is excited because we're going to get something like 60 million vaccines. Now, granted, that's a little amount compared to the number of citizens we have here. However, we're going towards that 60, 70%, you know, group. Once we get 60% to 70% of our community, then things will lax up a little more. People will get out a little more, and that will be great. So here in California, well, not just California, in the United States, they're tracking 4 strands of the virus. One they call the Brazilian strand. There are 2 different UK strands, and then there's an African strand. So whenever anyone is tested now, not only are they tested to see if they have it, if they're positive, they're trying to see, is it the domestic version or is it a new strand? And as Rosetta and I have shared with you all, this particular virus is mutating. So it's always changing, changing, changing. And what
It's
we all
sad.
have to do, huh?
I'm saying it's very sad because a lot of people that have caught some of the different viruses, they don't know where they've caught it from.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I know that Michael Strahan is very well known, loved, very educated, and he got COVID. He was on Good Morning America, and because people are like, "Where's Michael?" Because he's always working. Michael worked through most of the shelter at home pandemic. He was at work.
Yep.
So everyone's worried. And so he came on to make everyone feel better. However, his eyes looked really peaked. And he said, which I thought was brilliant, he said, I did all the right things. I social distance, I washed my hands, I wore my mask, and I still got it. If I can get it, you can get it. So the reason that you follow these protocols is not because it's for you, it's for us. And if you do it for me and I do it for you, then we will all make it through. So Rosetta and I send our love and prayers to you, Michael. We want you to feel better soon. We know Enzo is keeping you busy going outside to play in the snow because he loves the snow. And you just stay indoors and take it easy, and we'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, we wish you the best, and hopefully you don't get those symptoms that are prolonged because a lot of people are getting symptoms way after the fact. And now they're actually telling people, I'm not sure where you live, but in California, they're saying that people should even double up on the masks. That's what they're
Yeah.
telling. So we don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see. The double upping of the
Yeah. The one.
masks, yes. But if you have a
Mhm.
mask that has a pocket for the filter, that's the same as doubling up. So
Right.
so everyone, as we open up our outdoor dining now, we really want people to be doubling up or to be wearing those masks and to be very, very careful, like Gloria said.
Yeah. He also shared that, which you and since you brought that up, you reminded me. He said that he's working to regain his strength. Now we both know Michael Strahan works out 2 hours a day, every day.
Yes.
So for him to say, I'm working to regain my strength so I can get back to work. And then he said, because I have to get out of this house. So that could be what his effect is. He got the weakness symptom because he looks fine, his breathing looked fine, but you could tell he was not 100%.
Yeah. So we put you in our prayers and positive vibes going your way, Michael.
Absolutely. So I also wanted to talk a little bit about global warming. Rosetta and I have been, trying to sensitize you all to what that means. It's for the future. It's for our children. If everyone could stop having a pity party and going me, poor me, and think to yourself, in 30 years, I may or I may not be here. However, my child will be. I want my child to have as good of a life as I had, if not better. And the only way to ensure that is with quality Mother Earth. We have to take care of the planet. So it's cold in the West Coast. Okay, in the East Coast, they would say it's just a little brisk because we're in the 40s. However, we had a couple of days where it was raining and it was cold. And up on our mountain tops, we got a little cast of snow. It was very pretty. It was just a dusting. And places like Reno, there is in between California and Reno, Nevada, there's a place called Truckee. And Truckee got 27 inches of snow in one night. That's
What?
a lot of snow. Yes,
That's a
ma'am.
lot. That's more than a lot.
That so they show they have interstate cameras so you can watch the road. So anyone that travels during the winter time, these apps are on their phones and you could just see white out. And some places it was so cold the cameras were frozen
Wow.
and you couldn't see anything.
Yep.
So we can say it's cold. However, it is really cold on the West Coast. They there's a friend of mine that lives near the Chicago area, and it's 22-ish today. She's getting ready because Saturday is going to be 7 and Sunday is going to be -5. That is just amazingly cold. Like I shared with you, Wendy and her staff couldn't get to the studio because New York City went through a blizzard. They
Okay,
had to
the
shut down all mass transit. You know, everything in New York is the subway. They had to shut everything down.
so we cannot complain in California saying, oh, 40 degrees is cold.
No, we
Yeah,
can.
we
Yeah.
can't.
And I was watching Ellen, and I love little Bindi Irwin. I mean, we got to watch her from a little girl with her dad. You know, he was he had a nickname. Was it the crocodile? The crocodile something. His name was
Crocodile
Steve
Dun,
Irwin.
wasn't it? No, I forget. That's I was going to say
Yeah,
Crocodile
Crocodile
Dundee, but
Dundee.
that's
Yeah,
a movie.
that's the movie character. But you know, I loved him because he was all about nature and taking care of things. So Bindi got married during the pandemic, and she was very happy to announce on Ellen that, you know, she's pregnant with the baby, and she was talking about how the baby is just kicking her, you know. And Ellen's like, yeah, wait till she gets out. And it was just, you know, they were talking about their honeymoon, and they took care of 1,000 animals, you know, because of the fires. And then she shared some information that just blew my mind. And I believe this is also a part of global warming. They lost 35 million acres to those fires. And what did they say? Almost 3 billion would it be? 3 billion animals. And she was sharing how, you know, the fires, the devastations, the koala bears, the, you know, the giraffes. And when she got to giraffe, I was doing something and I said, did she say giraffes? I love giraffes. I think they're just so beautiful. And so 3 billion animals, that's a lot. So we here in the United States, let's do our part to help with global warming. Let's figure out what the world is doing. Let's collaborate. Let's start building teams to improve the quality of the planet. You know, I mean, none of us are really, you know, yippity doo dah about plugging in our cars or, you know, giving up gasoline because they love gasoline. However, at one point, they didn't have gasoline, and they evolved to gasoline. And maybe what we're going to evolve to is going to be even better. But let's do our part to protect Mother Earth.
Yeah, we always, you know this from our previous talks. We always talk about global warming, and there's things that we can do, like sustainability, other things we can do, use less plastics. There's too many plastics, and I can go on, but we will talk about that in another chat of ours, how we
Yeah,
can, and I want to talk about this, how we can actually help do our part in helping. So we'll talk about that in another chat.
yes. We also wanted to acknowledge the passing of Cicely Tyson, um, just an amazing, amazing woman. She has done some amazing movies. One of her best was Sounder. And I didn't realize until they started talking about her, she was 42 when she did that movie. She looked like a young girl. You know, they say black don't crack. So she held her age very well. I mean, when she passed, she was 96, and she was on Kelly and Ryan. She was there on a Monday to tape a show that came out on Wednesday. And then she passed that day. And so Kelly and Ryan came out and they talked about the beauty of her and how wonderful it was to work with her. People have been posting all kinds of accolades about her and her life, and her talent will be missed. So may you rest in peace, Miss Cicely Tyson. So our last topic of the day, and we're just going to start the conversation today, and we're going to keep it going because we could do a whole chat just on this one topic. And that is children returning to school, in-person school classes. the governor released schools to reopen in California. And then the teachers associations and the school districts said no. So they are now suing the state of California because they don't want to reopen and because it's safe. The governor used an example, and it's not all schools, all kids, all ages, it's the young kids. They're finding that it's just not working. And private schools, which I didn't realize, have remained open. So the private school kids are still thriving, even though they're not going to school every day. They put in different programs. It's working. And so the governor's like, well, if it's working for the rich, it should work for all. And what do we have to do? So my question, Rosetta, is if you had a young child, I know you have a son, but if you had an elementary level child, would you let your child go back to school now?
That's a hard question because it depends. There's many factors to that. I would have to say I would let my child back to school if and only if the teachers are all vaccinated. So that would have to be a criteria for me because we really need to protect the teachers because we have heard that some teachers have passed away because of that. Schools reopening and teachers have caught COVID. We're not sure how, but I think it's really important to protect our teachers. That's the main thing. And how are they going to like lay out the classrooms? That's important as well. Because if you're all mixed in together, what is the social distancing in that? So there's many factors, and I'd probably have to go to the school and see for myself how they're going to roll this out. I would need assurance by the principal or the teacher that runs the school exactly how it's going to be done, and hopefully it can give me some reassurance that my child is going back to a safe school. So that's the way that I would do it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there because while I understand we have to do something because our kids are just not, they're not thriving like they should be. Um, I live in a neighborhood where there are junior high school kids, and their parents are sitting on the grass because they're just overwhelmed, and the kids are inside and you hear them screaming. It's so chaotic. It's ridiculous. And our little ones, to me, it has to be safe because I could walk outside right now, and if a toddler walked down the street, they're going to hug me. Kids do not, they just feel love, and when they feel love, they hug. When they see each other's little faces, they don't think about no mask, and some of them take and move their mask and say hi, and then they put the mask back on. Well, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So you're right, we would have to know. And we also have, some communities are very strict, mask on all times, no strangers in the house, social distance, washing of hands, all of that. And then some communities are, it's not a social aspect, it's how they live. And they may have 3, 4 families in one house. And so when that child comes out, it's not just, a 3-to-1 ratio. There could be 10 to 12 people in the house, and everybody gets up and goes to work, and the children go to school. Well, like you said, there has to be something to secure all the parents that every child entering school is safe. I agree with you 100% because, I got a call yesterday where somebody was at work. One of the persons at work said, I don't feel good, went to the doctor. They gave them a rapid test. They have COVID. So now, and this is a small office, the small office is like, oh my God, they're tax preparers. What is it? It's tax season. So now you're like, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And 2 of the people there, their spouses have to have major surgeries. One has to have surgery. No, both of them have to have surgeries. Well, one is definitely tomorrow. The other one's later in the week. And I don't mean, because of COVID, even though one person is having to have foot surgery, they have to do outpatient so they can leave and they don't have to stay in the hospital and get COVID. I mean, so education is powerful. And I know what the governor's trying to do. You just have to make it safe for our kids, because once the kids are safe and the kids are happy, I think everything will start to move forward.
Yeah, and this is something that our president is working on, because he said before he became president, that's something that he really wants to work towards, is opening back up the schools. So we'll see what he rolls out, what kind of mandates he has on that. So we'll keep you updated on everything.
Absolutely. So, Ellen has a new clothes tagline. She says, I feel the love in this room. I send it back to you. Go out and share it. So we feel Ellen's love, and we hope you feel our love. We want 2021 to be an amazing year filled with love and compassion and caring. If we will just go back to the golden rules that we all heard as children, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If we can all just give each other the benefit of the doubt and love, everything will be okay.
100% agree, yes.
Oh, I love Rosetta's background. I mean, I just want to just jump out of off the bridge and go to her house and sit in that beautiful couch and just be amazed. Isn't it beautiful?
Lovely. You like my doors, my double doors?
Yes.
Out to the backyard.
Yes, I do. Oh, one thing, I don't want you to think we're behind the times. We know that the Golden Globes were announced today. However, we're going to talk about them next week, because most of the movies we haven't seen, haven't even heard of. So we've got to do a little research, and next
We'll do
week
some
we'll do
digging
Golden
into,
Globe.
and we'll talk about it in the future, next week maybe.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So this has been great. What a great chat we've had today. Been sipping my tea, and I love this new tea, chamomile lavender.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Tastes amazing. The combination together is really good. But thanks, everyone. Yep. Cheers again. I've been drinking this the
Cheers,
whole
my
time.
friend.
Thank you. We're Silicon Valley Girls, chat over tea. If you know someone that makes tea, you make tea, you have a tea shop, we would love to review your teas in an upcoming chat. So comment below, and we'd love to do that. Yes, we would. We love our teas. And as always, don't forget, if you loved our chat this week, we'd love it if you could like our video. There you go. Subscribe and hit that bell notification. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. We have the bell. The bell here. So everyone, remember to
always keep smiling.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.